Hello and welcome to Brutally Honest Level Review with your host, NateFH, the Geometry Dash YouTube series where I give my brutally honest review of levels with no sugarcoating. And in this week's video, we will be reviewing Skeletal Shenanigans by Yoreid and Aizzy.
What?
Lame.
I thought you said you review an underplayed level.
I know. I mentioned in the last video that I review a more underplayed level, and I still am, but that'll be next video. Just be patient, my children. So yeah, remember to subscribe for more level reviews, and make sure to comment what level you want me to review, and I'll pick one out for the next episode. Anyway, Skeletal Shenanigans is a medium demon created in 2.2 by Yoreid and Aizzy. Skeletal Shenanigans is one of those levels that just kind of blew the hell up. Originally, it was made for Jam Attack's 5th creator contest rather than being an event level. That's right, Rob looked at Skeletal Shenanigans and said, sure, why not? And made it the event level. I'm wondering if from now on, classic mythics will just be the new event levels, excluding those made for the gauntlet contests. To make this video more interesting, I will also be briefly talking about one of the conversations that this level has brought up, that being the game's optimization. This is totally the main reason why I wanted to review this level, and no other reason in particular at all. So it's no secret that there's a lot of levels in this game that require a really good PC to run fully at a high refresh rate, one of those being Skeletal Shenanigans. I've seen so many people arguing that this is a massive issue that really exposes how poorly the game is optimized, which causes it to not run well on most modern phones. My response to that is, well, it's blown way out of proportion. Let me explain why. If the game's optimization was truly as bad as these people are making it out to be, that would mean that a majority of phones would lag on an average feature level, which in general is not true at all. Even in the context of Skeletal Shenanigans, the only part of the level that seems to really lag people is this transition at 26%, while the rest of the level runs pretty well. This transition at 26 is pretty demanding in nature due to all the stuff that scales up in the radial blur. This transition is one of those things that can only be so optimized without needing to completely redo the transition. Other things in the game are also like that, such as camera effects, area triggers, and particles. As a creator, I do try to optimize my levels to the best of my ability, but there are many times where I can only do so much. Expecting every GD level to run well on every device is like expecting every Steam game to run well on every PC, which is simply unrealistic. Unless you're okay with every event level looking like an average feature level, then having the event levels not be able to be ran well on every device is a price worth paying. Instead, what we should be pushing for is better LDMs. Rather than removing everything, rebuild the things that lag the most in a much more device-friendly way, so you can still have all the elements of a level, but it's just easier to run. Now, this does require much more effort, but it's worth to optimize the amount of people that can play your levels. Also, if you're one of those people who comment lag on levels, then just please stop. It's really annoying and helps no one. Okay, now for the level review. The first part of the level opens up with a spider, which is remarkably rare as most levels open up with the cube. The first spider is pretty enjoyable. The gameplay goes to the song quite well without requiring the part to be click sync. Instead, this part makes good use of paths to help the gameplay sync to the song even better, as well as staircases. I appreciate that not every click is a buffer. While this may be expected from a medium demon, it helps the part to feel even more satisfying, although compared to the part after this, it is a bit on the harder side, and that part after is a mix of robot and swing copter, with there being 2 small sections of each for each game mode. The swing copter might offer some challenge at first, but when you find the right click pattern, it becomes a breeze. For the pre-drop, that's fine. The drop tends to be the most fun part about levels for most people, so getting there more often is a good thing. The first coin is also in this part. To get the first coin, you need to drop on top of these floating blocks. The second click is a bit tricky as it's challenging to make out where you're going to land as the robot. The part right before the boss is this cube part. It has this minor gimmick of having staircases make up sections of the gameplay, requiring you to do different maneuvers on them. There are also some tricky timings in this part as well. The second and final coin of this level is located in this part. Kinda cursed there isn't a third coin, but whatever. To get it, you need to skip this mini portal and jump on top of the staircases to fall into this gap to get the coin. This coin is noticeably harder than the first coin, so if you're already struggling with the base gameplay, then this coin may not be worth it for you. The coin could have been a little bit easier. Now we get to the part that really made this level stand out, that being the boss. Some of you may remember from my review of the NCS Gauntlet levels that I remarked that I don't really like boss fights in the classic levels. While that is still true, this is a big improvement to boss fights as a whole. My biggest issue with most boss fights was that you never really interacted with the boss at all, or if you did, it was very little. In Skeletal Shenanigans, however, the fireball attacks are random, requiring you to react to the fireballs, and all the other attacks are all based on your position, so you actually get to influence where the attacks go. I guess my only issue with the boss fight is that sometimes you can just do nothing and still get through it. While you are still just dodging attacks, it's much more involved and engaging. However, it's still a boss fight, so I can only like it so much. Potentially unpopular opinion, but my favorite part of the level is actually the part right after the boss fight. This cube is super satisfying, especially the spider orbs. On top of that, this part has this gimmick of going downhill, which works really well. The last part is another spider. This spider plays a lot like the first spider, but feels a bit easier. Seeing this much spider gameplay in this level makes me quite happy, as I am, well, a spider enjoyer, and it's my favorite game mode. It has this grounded feel, with most of the inputs happening on the top and bottom of the screen. In fact, most of the sections in Skeletal Shenanigans also have this grounded feel. Watch out for the spider webs in the last part though, as they are timings. As mentioned before, Skeletal Shenanigans was made for Jam Attack's 5th creator contest, which required levels to have a set theme, be in a cartoony art style, and have a gem the player grabs. Skeletal Shenanigans does a good job using this gem to add a story to the level. While you only see the gem in the second half of the level, the first spider does hint at the boss later on in the level with this big ass skeleton in the background. This level also does a very good job portraying a story through the environment. You start off in this fiery dungeon, then travel through the castle that connects to it. This leads you to the roof after being shot out of a cannon. Side note, but this will probably be the only time that the fire in the whole voice line will be used well. You enter this massive tower where we meet Big Bonesy for the first time. Yes, that's his actual name. I asked Airs about it. After a Skullbat takes Big Bonesy's orange flavored ring pop, you fall into this forest where Big Bonesy then chases after it. Once you reach the cliff, you then descend into a cave where we see the skeletons that aided Big Bonesy in the battle, then mutiny over the gem. After some scuffling, the archer skeleton trips and throws a big gem up into the air, which then falls into the player's hands. Absolute cinema. There's so many small details in this level which make it feel alive and give it such character, such as the custom attempt counter, which is a scoreboard, the dynamic lighting on Big Bonesy in the boss fight, and the little paintings in the second part, which includes Sans, Papyrus, that one guy from the Gungeon, and Barbaros from Zack and Wiki, which is an absolute banger of a hidden gem. It's a really good puzzle game. If you have a Wii or a Wii U that still works, I'd recommend getting it. Another thing that gives this level its charm are the lively animations. I never knew you could push the keyframe system this far until this level came out. Some of these animations look professionally done, such as the skeletons at the end and Big Bonesy himself in the boss fight. In comparison, the animation of Big Bonesy chasing after the gem does look a bit stiff, but still good by GD standards. Another aspect of Skeletal Shenanigans I enjoy are their blocks. It's really cool to see that every part has a custom-made tile set, which mimics those that you would see RobTop make. The amount of things to talk about in this level is absolutely ludicrous. Like, did you guys ever notice that the gem in the forest part bounces to the music? Or the Gigsburg in the river? In summary, yeah, this level looks pretty damn good. Oh, and the ice cream is fire. I wonder how many people have buffed or nerfed their jam attack entries to not compete with this as much. Overall, Skeletal Shenanigans is one of the most polished levels we have seen released in 2.2, and a very deserved mythic. With all being said, I'll be giving Skeletal Shenanigans an 8.5 out of 10. GG to Yoreid and Aizzy for winning Best Advanced Classic of 2025. Honestly, it'd be really funny if it didn't win, as it would make me look really stupid. Oh, and if you're gonna upload a completion of this level, then don't forget to credit Aizzy. I've seen people forget to credit Ambar in various buoy-based completions, and it gives me a big frowny face every time I see it.